It's Barb coming to you from my craft studio. I want to talk to you today about the year-long Get Organized Challenge. June is stamp month. I'll be right back. Okay, trying to find my notes here. I should have prepared ahead of time. That would make sense though. Anyways, in June we're organizing our stamps if you're participating in the year-long challenge. I have some people who are doing every month, and I have some that are just choosing the months they need to work on. I am hoping to get the stamps that I have purchased in the last year and a half catalog this month, but we'll see. First, you're going to want to create a catalog. Tiffany goes over this really well during tool week of the 8-week challenge. I kind of did put these in the wrong order. I was just going through and writing down the tools. I should have did the tools, at least started with the same one she did in the 12-week challenge, because she doesn't go over the cataloging real well in the 12-week video on stamps. But there are plenty of other resources. I wrote a blog post where I shared the tool week one. I shared her Go 10 videos on, she has one on mounted stamps and one on unmounted stamps. She goes over the process really good there. And a couple of blog posts she wrote were really good about explaining. I like the blog post because it's got visual. I think one of them has step-by-step pictures. Love that one. I did put all of those in my blog post because hers aren't accessible anymore. I had talked to her once about doing this, and she said it should be fine. She goes, you're just sharing the knowledge with the group. So hopefully we're still on board with all that. What I do with my, let me see if I can grab them real quick. I actually grabbed one that I actually cataloged. Oh, this one has dies in it, but it has stamps too. I just put this on my printer. I have my copy machine. My printer has a copy feature, and I run off copies. I usually can do more than one stamp set on a thing. I have little stickers that I've made from return address labels. I made a sheet for each of my themes. Like this one has wow, which is words of wonder or words of wisdom. It's been called both. I just put wow. I have one called arts and entertainment. It went for that one. I have a designer catalog for stamps of life. So sometimes if I have a lot by one supplier, like I have a lot of stamps of life, I like to put all those in one place just so I can kind of see what I have when I flip through my catalog, because then I can just flip through and say, do I have this one real quick if I'm looking to order something. So I put a sticker on the back of each one, and that tells me how many copies I need to make. And it also tells me if I ever decide I'm getting rid of this set, I know where I cataloged it. I can take it out. I can go cross it out of my catalog. I just use my catalog. You have to kind of decide how you want your catalog as well. Do you want it to be a separate catalog? Do you want it physical? Do you want it digital? I do physical, and I put mine at the front of each theme in my scrap rack. That's how I do mine. But you have to just figure out what works for you. Honestly, if you're going to do a physical catalog, and as long as you, and I would highly recommend this anyways, that your catalog not have one theme on one side of the paper and another theme on the other side. That way you can easily add to it regardless of whether it's standalone or mixed in with your system. So that's kind of how I catalog mine. My woodblock ones, I think I have actually put those in I don't have any of those out right now, other the ones that haven't been cataloged. I have either stamped those or I've put them in my Stamp and Go bags and ran off a copy and done it that way. You can do it either way. But so you need to catalog them, decide how you're going to store them. That was just kind of some of my tips for. Tiffany highly recommends just numbering them so you can go on. But like my Stamps of Life ones, I number them, but I put TSLOL1. So anything in this envelope is numbered 1. I have multiple things in this envelope. But if I see in my catalog it's TSLOL1, it's easy to find it because it's in this envelope. And this is just kind of my log of what is in each of these, what's in each of my envelopes. So the homework for June is to watch the GOC stamp class from the 12-week GOC. I'm going to highly recommend that you also watch the GOC tool class or one of the Go 10 classes, just to get a better feel on the cataloging process. That's just my thing. The next, number 2 in the homework is to decide how and where you're going to store your stamps. If you need to, buy storage, but don't feel you have to go out and buy storage. If you want to use what you have, get a feel. Honestly, if you're looking at a certain type of storage for any type of tool and it's an investment, try to mimic it with things you have at home. Like if you're looking for a certain type of box that you'd really like to go, try to just use just a standard box and do it just to get a feel of how it works for you. I kind of did that with the scrap rack. I tried to create my own scrap rack when I first started. It worked. The angle wasn't quite right. And it just, honestly, the cost involved of making it, I probably could have almost just bought it. And I decided I was going to go ahead and buy it because then I could easily expand my scrap rack. I do not know the future of the scrap rack. I know Tiffany, with a lot of her products, her goal is to do something similar but improve upon it with her new company, because she doesn't have the rights to each individual product anymore. Last I knew, she was unsure on the scrap rack fate. I'm hoping maybe she can come up with a way to take the scrap rack concept and just improve upon it and maybe come up with her own new system. Now, will I invest in that? Probably not, because I think I have 6 bases over there. I have at least 5, if not 6 bases. So I don't know that I would invest in a new one. It would be costly. So then decide, how are you going to do your catalog? Is it going to be physical? Is it going to be digital? Or are you going to do both? I'm going to point out physical. Usually with your physical one, you show the exact size of the stamps. I mean, by photocopying these, I can see exactly what size it is. That's a huge advantage when you're trying to decide if you're going, oh, I want a stamp for like a birthday. I can tell at a glance usually whether that cupcake like is going to fit the space I have on, especially like a card, because cards are smaller, so you only have so much space. So it's really nice, the physical one, to see the exact size of the items. Now, the digital one has the advantage of it's easy, it's with you all the time. For buying purchases, it's great. I would someday like to also do a digital catalog so that I can see, I'm not going to be able to see the exact size of this, so I have thought like putting a ruler along each edge so you can kind of get an approximate size. But then I could say, oh, I have a similar cupcake to that. I don't need another cupcake. I'm not buying that stamp. Something like that. But you just kind of have to decide, is it going to be physical, digital? Are you going to do both? If you're going to do a physical catalog, is it going to be standalone, or are you going to integrate it into with where you store your supplies? I like that, so that when I go over to my birthday section of my scrap rack, I can flip open to birthday. I can see everything I have for birthday. I'll see all of those different tools that I have that aren't stored in the scrap rack, but there's a representation there, and I can see all the die cuts and stickers and all that other stuff that I have. So you just kind of have to decide which way will work best for you. Hopefully you got kind of a good idea of how you craft, and that can kind of help you a lot. That's one reason why Tiffany during the first month kind of tells you to determine how and where you craft, so that you kind of have an idea of what storage solutions will work best for you. 4 is catalog 50 stamps or stamp sets, and then store your stamp sets into your organized only area. I chose 50. When we do the weekly one, Tiffany has you do 20 a day. I chose 50. I did think about going 20 a week, so I'd say 50 to 100. It just, I think 50 is very, very doable regardless of your schedule. But, unless you're really traveling a lot this summer, then maybe not so much. If you have more paper to sort another 4 to 8 inches of paper. Sort another container of photos, physical or digital. If it's digital, it's probably going to be like a year of photos. Sort them. That's one thing I need to do, is go in and tag all my photos. I have not done that. They are sorted, so I can find them if I need them, but I do really need to tag them. Sort another container of embellishments if you still have some. Gather together your dies for the July challenge, because July we're going to work on our dies. Create your organized only area for dies. This can be as simple as knowing where you're going to store your dies. Even if your dies are currently in that space, when you pull them out to catalog them, that will now be empty, so you can put or if you've been through the challenge before and they're partially organized, you just grow that space. You don't start over. Just continue organizing from where you left off. Progress post. That can be either posting on Facebook, or you can post on one of my YouTube videos, or you can just tell a friend or family member how you're doing in the challenge. Say, you remember I'm participating in that year-long organization of my craft supplies? This is what I did this month. Hopefully maybe if you got somebody very supportive, they'll even ask you about it. They'll say, oh, are you still working on your organization for your craft supplies? And then celebrate with your reward. When you have finished those 10 things I listed, which is 50 to 100 stamps, you don't have to do all your stamps, just the amount assigned and the other things that I listed. You are done with this month. You can celebrate your reward. You can do more, but you don't have to do more to get your reward. A lot of people keep thinking I need to finish all of my stamps before I get that reward. Now, that's probably too overwhelming. I think it's why a lot of people give up on organizing, is because it just gets to be too much. It's like, I'm never going to finish this. Just do that. I am hoping to get to a point where I can do a little video on my paper organization. Now, for me, I'm trying to think of what I took for my rewards. Oh, the first month I did the clear storage from Target that I bought for. I was hoping to use it for stamps and dies. It did not work for my stamp sets. I don't know how much I needed for dies, because some of my dies I just mix in with my stamps. If it has a matching stamp set, it goes in with my stamp set. This isn't a good set to use as an example, but some of them, a lot of the TSOL ones have a stamp and die set. They go in the same envelope for me. I actually put 2 of those in one envelope, but I had to buy something different because these envelopes would not fit in those containers, which I wasn't even thinking about that. And I thought, well, I could switch them and get something that goes this way. And I'm like, well, then I can only put 1 row. I can't put 2 rows in the cube. So I ended up deciding to stick with these plastic envelopes, because then I don't have to buy anything else. and just get a different container. I can use those containers for something else. I actually took one and used it in the house today for something else. So I got my first month done. That was the stamps and dies. I kind of, for paper, I have finished my paper. I think my carts for my craft machines are my reward for that month. Photos, I did order some of the photos I had done. I haven't really taken a reward for that one. I'd like to do a little bit more because I didn't do much on my photos, but I kind of thought I am saving that for later because I'm in the middle of setting things up. I'd rather not have to take time out to figure photos out. So photos, I've just created a little place to put them, and that's where they're going. And that's kind of as far as I'm going with photos. My photos were in good shape prior to moving, so I was probably a few months behind on printing because the last few months were crazy. So I'm probably maybe a year and a half behind on photos, though I did print a bunch of them. I think I printed about a year's worth, so I might have some random ones in between that I've missed. Embellishments, I have them pre-sorted. I need to file them. I'm hoping to do a video on my paper and embellishments. And the photos I know will have to wait because a lot of my photo stuff is still packed in the basement, which is one reason I skipped photos. I do have more embellishments in the basement, like my washi, I'm pretty sure is down there. So I need to get that set up, how I'm going to store those. And there's a few other things that I think I figured out. My ribbon, I just need to finish putting things together for my ribbon, but I haven't taken the reward for embellishment month, which was May, because I haven't finished. But I'm hoping pretty soon to finish up going through what I have in here, and try to find a home for the stuff that's in the boxes, so that then I can slowly start bringing stuff upstairs. We've been having a little bit of we think it's a mouse problem. So I'm a little worried about all my boxes in the basement because they're just cardboard boxes. So what I'm thinking I'm going to do is to buy a set of the Sterilite or Rubbermaid type totes and bring those things out, unpack the boxes and put them in the plastic totes, and then bring the totes into the craft room. That way I know I'm not bringing anything into the craft studio. The thought of emptying those boxes is kind of terrifying me. I don't like mice. I don't like the centipedes and silverfish, which you get in the basements. So I'm a little worried. I wasn't planning to have that stuff down there for over a year, and that's where we're at. But it just how it worked out. But I'm hoping to get that done. Be sure, if you're participating in the challenge, to join either the Get Organized with Totally Tiffany group or Barb's Craft Studio, because I'm sharing my links there. I'll also try to put a link to my blog post in the description box of this video. That might take a day or two after I get this uploaded. Just warning you. I need to try to get out here more, but I haven't gotten as much done out here as I had hoped by now, and I kind of stopped posting with my 100-day project, which is basically organizing this, because I did some organization in the garage. I was trying to get a little bit out of the basement so there was a clear path down there, and I ordered bookcases for my bedroom, and I got those all put up over the weekend. I got those done. I think I finished them Monday. So I'm trying to get some of that organized too. I need to get, there's a few boxes of mine still in the room my daughter's going to use, so I need to get those out of there and take out their stuff that's temporary there so we can get back there. Paint. Me and my older daughter told my younger daughter we would paint because she has to work all summer. She doesn't. My older daughter's a teacher, so she has summers off. So we told her we would try to get back there and paint it for her And then I'll probably help her put the bookcases up. And then they can start getting that set up. I thought I was going to have to email IKEA because I said it would be here by yesterday, my IKEA cash-in, and did not arrive till today. But it did arrive, so we're good. So so before that expires at the end of the summer, I want to order some extra shelves for my bookcases. I kind of know how many I need, but I want to add any they need onto that order too. Might as well get them all at once and pay one shipping fee. They're going to pay me back for their bookcases and the desks that they got. And I think the inserts that I got for their kitchen. I paid for some of those. I paid for some of those that I didn't make them pay for, but I wouldn't mind if they chipped in a little bit. But anyways, that's kind of where I'm at. I did get some... I did something in here the other day. Oh, I think it was back in hubby's area. I'm trying to get his area, when I find stuff for it, get it put up so that at least one part of the room stays done. Sometimes I feel like as I bring stuff over, it gets worse. But so that's kind of where I stand. I need to make my daily homework. It's not really daily homework reminder. I do them every 2 to 3 days in the group because I kind of spread them out over the month. So there's 11 steps this month. So every 2-3 days I'll post in the group, and usually when I post the homework reminder, I highlight a different piece of homework. I share another video or blog post that helps with this month's topic. So that can be useful if you know. And you can also always refer to the blog post, because I think on the blog post I put all of them that I could find in. But anyways, thanks for joining me. I'll catch you next time.